I'm here at the Glasgow Film Festival, and today we are talking with Emiliana Torrini, Pollard, and Iain Forsyth. So I'm very glad to speak with you today, and I really loved your movie. And actually, I have to go straight to the point. So my question is, actually, I have seen a lot of movies lately, and it's very difficult to find a movie like yours. Mm-hmm. And it's a compliment, because it's like it takes you really somewhere else, okay? And it's wonderful to see, it's not only about love, but it's the perception that it gives about feelings and how they used to be, and how you were able to interpret that with a range of amazing stuff like music, aesthetics, everything. So my question is very simple. How did you do that?
You're sorry. And then
you're hanging. But the songs came first. That I think that was the key to everything. I mean, obviously the letters inspired the songs, but the songs certainly were the inspiration for us, and how to kind of embody them or manifest them visually in a way that wasn't about trying to find the reality behind the letters, who Geraldine was or who these guys were that were writing to her obsessively. It became much more about how do we hold you in that emotional suspended state that the songs manage to do, and they do it so beautifully. And so the visuals just came from that. It was like, well, what are we seeing at this moment, and how do we do this in a way where it almost lives inside Emiliana's head? Mm-hmm. So the studio became almost like a kind of
brain.
Yeah, it did. It was like the inside of you. The sort of black studio became the inside of your head, and we created different sets around, and the band were there as a sort of Greek chorus playing through it. But yeah, we wanted to, exactly what you said. It's great to hear it. We wanted it to just capture the feel of the music.
Yeah, if you have to have,
want
to have something,
I think Yetna, when you guys were trying to find the words for it, where it was it was kind of all true. There was a fever dream involved that was real. So this musical theater fever dream, and it kind of hit the nail on the head when those sentences came out. It explained it really well, for me at least, because it was hard to put in words, because it is very different.
I'm not sure what I've got to add to that. I mean, I think as a filmmaker, what was exciting for us was that normally music is something that is trying to serve the narrative, something that you're using to try and add to the textures and the emotions and the journey of a film, but it is generally thought of as something supporting the visuals. So to be able to imagine a film where the music is already there, it's already set, and the visuals are complementing and serving their narrative rather than the other way around, was just a really unusual way to be thinking about making a film for us.
Yeah, wonderful, actually. And I had another question that is about, when I think about the images that I got still in my head, or the music and everything, it feels like going in something that is deep but light at the same time, because there is a part of humor as well. So it's not only, these dark thoughts or how it can be, these love stories and such. And I would like to know, how it was for you to read the letters, for the first time, when you're trying to decide to put all this together. And actually, can I say that one of the first impression that I get is being part of some kind of magic ritual, because it's being a part of something bigger, because there are other stories that you are telling, but not only their stories, the emotional baggage that they have carried all these years, and how you managed to take that, and so what I should do with that now. So it was very amazing to find something that is so different. So I would like to know, what was your first, reaction to the letters, and your first ideas. It came something with, I don't know, drawings, or something more deeper than that. Thank you.
For us, I think Miss Flower, the song Miss Flower, and that was the first letter you read, and the first one to make it into like to become a song, to be kind of imagineered into a song, and it became the first one for the film as well. We knew it was where we should start. It seemed to kind of set some sort of tone, and from there we just looked for a language and actually found it from a strange 1960s television program that David Bowie absolutely loved when he was young. It's called The Strange World of Gurney Slade, and Anthony Newley wrote and starred in it. And it's just remarkable. It's meta, it's crazy. It's the most postmodern thing I've seen from that era. And we used, in a way, we just borrowed some of its rules, its language. It exists within a kind of limited world with limited kind of resources. It doesn't mind showing behind the camera. It kind of comes on and off, and all of that felt to us like a palette for being able to kind of bring the letters and the songs to life.
For me, it was just arriving in London. So Miss Flower had just passed away, and I'm with her daughter and husband Simon that we wrote the music, and the first letter I read is this one, and it was almost like, in my mind, the door to the world. You know, suddenly there was a bubble that just blew around us, and we could walk into that world. And I'm like, you know, it really triggered something in my mind. And the same day, the song gets written. So it was literally like, should we write a song? You know, yeah, let's go. Went to the garden, wrote it, and then it was kind of just stuck in my mind all the time. And I was traveling to London every month or every other month just for a week to write, and it just became this slow obsession to go have look at the letters, the pictures, hear stories, and there was so much in there. That she got 9 proposals, and then we discovered the spy letter that was very exciting, and and I was just going, this is so amazing, and so I was going like, please, Emiliana, come down. And so there was this kind of worlds happening where Zoe's going, well, maybe not. I don't think she doesn't allow herself to go like in the direction that I'm completely in, and she's like pulling me back, and I'm going, Zoe, come on, and so there's this push and pull constantly, and that was also really fun because it was it was a real treasure to find, and also because they were so well written. You really went into a world, and personally I was going through something in my life that inspired a big change, and for me to also because she just lived so authentically. There was no compromise, and she was sort of not fearless, but she completely went against her fear. It was a kind of probably a source of inspiration or something. So I learned a lot. So there was a parallel life I was living here, but completely with my brain in those letters, and it inspired a massive change in my life, and
And I guess the weirdest thing was that the thing that was missing was Geraldine's voice, because we had all of these letters to her, but nothing by her, and then this remarkable thing happened.
Yeah. It was supernatural. A lot of supernatural stuff happened while we were working this record, and and it was kind of weird. Because we were constantly being led. Nothing stopped us. If something was needed, it was like, oh, we can't find that. That's probably disappeared. The whole map of Reggie, which was a blue map, disappeared for many months. And I was like, oh, they've come into the house and taken the map. The spy map. And I was like, oh, they've realized we've Googled them. I was completely off. And she's like, no, I probably just placed them somewhere else. And then it just pops up. And then there was the cassette.
Yeah.
Then this letter, I mean,
the poem. Was, I think that for us, that we knew that we'd start with Miss Flower and we'd end with the poem. We'd end with her words, not knowing whether Reggie ever got that poem. It's weird, isn't it? It was in the box. Like, did it make it? Did he ever?
It wasn't in the box. It was a letter that was literally because we had to finish the record, and I was tearing my hair out. I'm like, no, I'm not going to finish this record. We cannot finish it. It's not even a story without her voice. We just can't go there. And then Zoe, it was a few months later, and we were in the garden, and we were really being pushed to finish it. And then I got the fever, and it was on the same time. I'm upstairs backing. I had a hallucination, and I see, and I'm sleeping in the flat of Miss Flower or Geraldine, and I see her sitting at a round table, playing cards, and there's red wine and cigarettes, and my dad's there who had passed away, and there's like Janis Joplin and Leonard Cohen, lots of writers, and everybody's like sitting there, and I'm like, we have to have your voice on this record. We cannot close it. We have to have you there. And she's just like laughing at me or something, and I'm like, come on. And then the day after, like a few days later, we're sitting in the studio, and Zoe is like, walks this letter, and her face was like this, and she's like, look what I found. And it was the poem, and it had been in some kind of drawer, or that she'd looked in many times. So we thought, of course, like, oh, this is amazing. But it was also a miracle for us, because it really would have meant for me, like, this is a ruined, it has no ending. It had to have an ending.
The film
And
needed
the
an arc
best
as well.
ending ever, like super sensual, beautiful, funny letter that closed it all off. It was, I still get goosebumps when I think about it. It was so magical.
I think for us as well, it was also really lucky for us that we came to the project at a point where the album wasn't finished, but a lot of the songs had been written. So we already had this kind of, the letters were extraordinary, but I think on their own it would have felt like a very personal, almost intrusive, invasive thing to be, turning into a sort of creative work. But because these letters had already been through the mill of Emiliana's imagination, and all of these kind of ideas of spies and exotic, Caribbean island owning gangsters and all of these things, that Zoe's going, no, I don't think that's actually true. So it was already a creative project, and that just gave us the freedom to play.
Thank you so much. It was an honor talking to you, and magical, actually. Was magical as the movie.